Good day, my merry gang of malcontents, and a happy classic day to all. This has been a day long awaited by the World of Warcraft community and those that are active and those that have maybe left out of sheer disappointment, boredom, or their own personal reasons, myself included. As many of you know, I was super hyped for Battle for Azeroth about, maybe a year ago at this point. Battle for Azeroth. Oh man, I can only imagine what this is gonna be. Sourfang! Ah! Yeah! Okay, Sourfang, whoop some ass. Whoop some ass, buddy. This is gonna be good for the Horde, baby. And then many of you that have been following me or watching my live streams, you've heard this story before. I was completely let down. I was disappointed. I didn't like the direction Activision Blizzard was going with the game. I couldn't take it anymore. And I just left and found, in my opinion, greener pastures. Final Fantasy XIV. Now, that's not a knock at the franchise itself. I will always love the World of Warcraft franchise. I've been, a part of it for the better part of 15, 16 years at this point, since the Warcraft days, so more than that. It's just really the company behind it and a lot of their decisions and all of that nonsense. But you've heard all of that before. This is old news, and quite frankly, I'm beating a dead horse at this point. But that's not the focus of this video. No. The focus of this video is, very simply put, what are my plans for Classic? So just to get an obvious one out of the way, yes, I will be making a guild, and all of you are free to join. Now, I'm not going to be, super mega serious about the rating or anything like that. Will we do the content? Will we do the rating? Oh, I absolutely intend to, but I'm not going to be just like, where are you now? We gotta do this now. We gotta do this now. I'm not going to be like that, because quite frankly, I want this to be an enjoyable experience. I personally am going to be going at my own pace. I am not going to rush anything. You see, it's been a long time since me and millions of others have experienced this Azeroth. It really has been a freaking eternity at this point, and so many things I have forgotten and many things I didn't get to experience, because you see, I started World of Warcraft back in Burning Crusade. So while the leveling experience was, primarily the vanilla world before I got to Outland and all of that, of course, people will say, well, that's not the true vanilla experience. So in many ways, this kind of will be a true vanilla experience for me, even though it's not the true vanilla. I think we can all agree with this. You can't recapture magic that happened 15 years ago, and then suddenly it's the same thing. I mean, that's logical, and I get that, I understand that, but I'm still going to enjoy it nonetheless. I never got to do things like Molten Core. I never got to do Naxxramas, the original Naxxramas. I never got to do Blackwing Lair, the original Blackwing Lair. Yeah, and I never got to do Ankiraj, I never got to do any of those things. I got to experience the dungeons, of course, and Scholomance is still one of my favorites, but I never got to experience the other side of it. So this will be a first time for me, and I will enjoy it with much delight. I definitely will. So, of course, like I said, I am making a guild. Anyone that is my viewers are free to join up. We will be grouping together, doing content together, and we will just have a grand old time. It'll be great. It'll be fun. I will be playing, as if you needed to ask what I was going to be playing. Yeah. The first character I will be playing is going to be an Orc Warrior, just because between it and the Rogue, it's just the two classes that I'm most familiar with. So I'll start with the Warrior and then move on to the Rogue at some point. Maybe even dip into some other classes, just, that I never really tried or, gave the light of day to, like maybe the Mage, maybe the Warlock. Of course, I know the classes were designed a lot differently in this day and age. For example, Warriors had a very heinous leveling experience, but the end result was absolutely worth it, whereas Rogues had just tremendous amounts of DPS, and Hunters and Warlocks and Mages have probably had the best leveling experience. So yeah, I understand all that, which, you know, brings me on point. Yes, like I said, I am going to be taking this at my own pace to just enjoy the journey, because that was the best thing about old school World of Warcraft, even in Burning Crusade when I started off. The leveling was the journey, and the journey was the game, and that made the game the experience. So I'm going to be enjoying it. As far as server, I will be on Bloodsail Buccaneers. Don't worry, I'm not going to try to ruin this just because I'm live streaming or anything like that. But I will be on Bloodsail Buccaneers. Don't sneer at me just because it's an RP server. I'm just going there to avoid everybody else. Also to claim this realm as mine. Just saying. But in all seriousness, yes, I will be on Bloodsail Buccaneers, so you are all free to join me. We will have much merry delight. It will be just a grand old time. I am going to be live streaming later on tonight, so I kind of just wanted to lay down my plans for, you know, you guys to know if anybody wanted to join up with me or anything like that. I will be starting a guild. What would it be the name of the guild? Well, you'll just have to log in to find out, won't you, Batsy? So, anywho, I look forward to seeing all of you on World of Warcraft Classic, or many of you. And hey, if World of Warcraft Classic is just not your thing, that's understandable. And no, I will not be abandoning Final Fantasy XIV. God, no! Shadowbringers is just too damn good. But I believe with all my heart that we can exist in a world where Shadowbringers and Classic can coexist. As long as I stay off Reddit or the internet as much as possible. Because flame wars are stupid. So either way, you have a wonderful Shui day. Enjoy WoW Classic. Hope to see you on there. And I have not gotten to say it in a long time, but with much delight. For the Horde, baby. See you later.